Um, yeah,
I
you can go
had
ahead.
a yeah. So actually, I'm sorry for the late response, Macau. I did not see your DM till now. But Richard, we actually have a question from one of the people in the audience for you. So they basically asked. They said, so Richard mentioned the desire to be part of a large community, but I was also curious, how do you balance that with the people's desire for exclusivity? Some people love being in a party with tons of people, but many like the VIP section in the back or upstairs. Are those two things mutually exclusive within a project? So I was wondering what you thought about that.
Yeah. So I mean, all so again with like these projects, it's you're able to serve it up, right? You're only limited by your imagination. So for these things, I mean, you could, there's other ways to add value, other ways to where you could introduce other, NFTs that give you the VIP. I personally, okay, so the systems that we've been engineering, right, or the experiences, the way it's mapped is again like 10%. Those are like your ultra whales, right? They're the ones they're just the most supportive economically, and they have the most capacity to take you to where to create that future proof experience, right? If you do it right. If you really do it right, and I'm talking if you guys do it right, you have a project in the future. If it's already there, right? There might be something somewhere already, it happened today or whatever. But there'll be NFTs that will be part of experiences, right? And these experiences, I mean, there's some that I'm already aware of. I think that may be contenders, um, but people won't sell them for millions, right? Because the experience is so amazing, the status. So, anyways, for how we build a lot of these systems, though, it's again 10% or around that number, give or take, 5%, I guess, or fractions of a percent. They're like you're the ones that get the most utility, right? So in a way they're the ones that they're getting like everything that the collection has to offer, and there's like that's where you're thinking about how can I offer them something that's a long term future proof competitive advantage that's hard to imitate, right? Because it's not worth doing this stuff if somebody can just go and imitate it right away. Why the hell even do it? You want to go to blue water, you want to create something. So that's that. And then really again, why I'm bringing this up is how we see it is like a ring. And what makes those 10% feel even more amazing, it's that ring. And you could even have two rings, right? You could have and what I mean by rings, like that VIP, that exclusivity,
Yep, yep.
that's something like in the center how we see it.
Yeah,
And
it's an
everything
orbit.
else, like all the
Hmm.
other things, they're kind of like around that, so that because it's about flexing and status. So all the other people, if you're at an event, it's about knowing that you're there and that they can see you, or somewhere, it's done, obviously done in a cool way, right? Now, ooh, they can see me. It's done to where it's got to be luxurious. It's got to have the whole feel, however it's done. But it's done indirectly in such a way to where again, yeah, people, they see that you're more desirable. I mean, things like that. And then you can have the two or three rings beyond the mega holders, where they have less exclusivity, less access, and yeah. But to your question, yeah, I mean anything's possible. Just it's limited by imagination,
Yeah,
budget,
like it's
creativity.
it's
Yeah.
it's really cool because that's why I love NFTs so much is the fact that you're able to build up this loyalty around the brand advocates that you have within your community itself. And like you said, like it's kind of like that orbital model where you have that inner ring, and then it goes and expands out to the outer rings where they can all start pulling from each other in certain aspects. And I've seen communities where they have utilized kind of like, I guess you can say, like proof of work in that sense, where the more work that they do for a said project, and the more activity that they show to really improve the project itself, the closer they can possibly get to achieve that inner circle, right? That inner orbit, things like that. And it's just amazing because again, like uh, you're able to just provides so much value. Like it's going to be really interesting to see how companies compete on a value added perspective, right? Like in this sense, now it's going to be a battle for what company can provide the most value for the most loyal community and brand I don't know advocates, at least from this standpoint. So yeah.